day students. Let us start with the early trade activities part 2. In the part 1, we had studied about the two important things, that is how the trade was in the ancient and medieval ages, and we had seen the causes of the geographical discoveries. Let us just recall it back with the story which we had learned, that is about the farmer's story, and the causes were the limitation of the land routes, knowledge of wealth, knowledge of geography, availability of navigational aids, patronage from kings, desire to spread Christianity, and capture of Constantinople. So, these 7 causes we had seen of the geographical discoveries. So, how the geographical discoveries took place and which were the countries in the forefront to take this opportunity, we will see now. The 2 units which we will be covering today are major discoveries which were made by different countries, and we will see the effects of the geographical discoveries. The major discoveries. The 2 important countries were Portugal and Spain, which had taken lead in discovering the New World during the 15th century. And when these 2 countries started taking the inspiration of these countries, the other countries also like England, France and other European countries entered later when they witnessed the profitability of the geographical discoveries. So once they learned that we can make profit, as in today's world at present you all know that corona is spreading everywhere, and there is lot of demand for the mask. So people know that they can make profit by using mask or by selling the mask. So they have changed the business and they have started selling masks. Similarly, here also when Portugal and Spain took the lead, the other countries thought that let us also make profit by making geographical discoveries. So the first country was the Portugal. Portugal was the first European country to utilize the opportunity which lay before it in the form of geographical discoveries. See students, there is a saying that opportunity knocks your door only once. We also have to put this into practice as students of standard 10th. This is an opportunity for you all now to show your whatever knowledge you have, what you can do of it. By taking example of Portugal. So now when Portugal took this opportunity, they had their 3 main aims. The first aim was God, second aim was glory, and the third aim was gold. Now as students, you all have your own aims. When you have reached 10th standard, you all might have decided that I want to score 90 plus, I want to score 92 and above. Or different aims. I want to be a topper of a particular subject. This may be your aim. In the similar way, they also had 3 main aims. God, that is they wanted to spread their religion. They wanted glory for themselves, popularity for themselves. And the third important thing was gold. They wanted to get lot of wealth from the different countries. And when these were their aims, see, you may have different aims, but you require support also of other people. But Portugal was very lucky. The Portuguese traders and navigators were blessed to have Prince Henry as their ruler during 15th century. It depends on the rulers also. There is a nice saying in Marathi called Jasa Raja Tashi Praja. Similarly, here also they were blessed to have Prince Henry as their ruler. Now why? What did he do so much? We say that they were blessed to have king like him. Now here in this slide we can see Prince Henry, the ruler of Portugal. Now he got a title called Henry the Navigator. So here people say that Prince Henry was called Henry the Navigator. Why is a question before us now. Because Prince Henry set up schools for navigators. Now the most important thing, the moment he came to know that geographical discoveries is going to help, he set up a school for navigators, just like you all have school to study the regular subject. Similarly, the school for navigators. Now besides this, he collected the services of map makers. Just now see, students, you all might be watching the lesson on the TV. Now to have that lesson on the TV, we require the help of the media. In the similar way, here also they collected the services of map makers. They also collected services of ship designers. Now why ships? Because they wanted to go and explore by taking the ships. They had to travel through ships because land routes were already closed. And next thing, now this king was doing everything to help the expeditions. So whatever thing was necessary, whatever help was necessary, he was always there to help all the navigators. So hence, he received the title Henry the Navigator. Now, the first exploration was undertaken was of west coast of Africa. So when the Portuguese explorers started, the first exploration was on west coast of Africa. Now after that, what happened was that Prince Henry died. But keep in mind, though he died, the explorations continued. Why? Because each expedition had brought in huge amounts of gold and profits and were also made on the slave trade. Now how they were making more and more profit? Either by bringing the gold or by making profit by slave trade. Now what is a slave trade? Slave trade is a trade where human beings are being sold. And what do they do by buying that human beings? That people are taken and made to work either on the plantations and they are not paid and all. Once they have bought that means as if we are buying a laptop or a mobile and we are using it. Similarly, they used to use that people. That was the slave trade. In 1488, Bartholomew Dias, now this person was a Portuguese person. He reached the southern tip of Africa. Now when he reached the southern tip of Africa there, he was caught in storms. And he also called it as Cape of Storms. Why? There was all storms there. When he went with a ship, he was caught in the storms there. But see students, he did not stop here. This is the lesson we also have to learn. That whatever storms may come in your life, you all may think that this year we are in 10th and our classes are not being conducted due to the COVID-19 patients which are increasing in Goa. So maybe whatever the storms might come in your life, but we should not stop. Similarly, this was done by Bartholomew Dias. He did not stop, though he was caught in the storms. And this Cape of Storms was later named by him as Cape of Good Hope. Now why it was called a Cape of Good Hope? This hoping is very, very important. Always keep a good hope. Be positive in your thoughts. This is very important. Why? Because it provided hope to the navigators to travel further. Now because Bartholomew Dias went there, other explorers thought that yes, nothing is going to happen if we go there even though there are storms. We will overcome that storms and we will continue. This attitude we also have to keep in our life. Why? Because if we stuck with our storms, we will remain there only. We will never come up. We will never achieve our goal. Now in this slide, we can see Bartholomew Dias here, who had discovered the Cape of Good Hope. Now Bartholomew Dias sailed round the Cape of Good Hope in 1498. And the same route was used by the another Portuguese explorer, that is Vasco da Gama. He used the same route and reached western coast of India and landed at Calicut on 17th May 1498. Now people say that Vasco da Gama discovered the sea route to India. Now keep in mind, this was a discovery for them. Already people were staying in India, people knew about India, but they came here for the first time. So they started saying that Vasco da Gama discovered the western coast of India and he landed at Calicut. Now after coming to Calicut, he took the trading concessions from the ruler of Calicut. Now what are concessions? Concessions means he did not want to pay any tax or revenue. Why? If he get excluded from there, that would help him to make more profit. So he is taking trading concessions. He returned back with spices and precious stones. Now when he went back from India, very interesting story. He took back from us spices. Spices like what? Maybe the pepper, clove, cardamom, all these spices he took from here. They were not even aware about these spices when we Indians had all these spices. He took precious stones, all different types of precious stones. We have seen in the previous lesson what type of precious stones. And you all will be surprised to know the profit he made after taking from here, which repaid him 60 times the cost of the expedition. Means what? Supposing if he had spent 10 rupees, 60 times means the profit made was 600. Just imagine the profit which he made. So just imagine how much wealth India had. How much gold was there, how many spices were there, how many precious stones were here. And we never realized that we had lot of wealth here. We never are proud about our country, but we have to be proud of our country that we had so much wealth, and all this was taken away by the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama. So when he took back all these things and he earned the 60 times profit, this was an inspiration for other explorers. So this marked the beginning of the European trade with India. So once Portuguese came, other Europeans like French, people from England, they also started coming to India. Here in this slide we can see Vasco da Gama here. Let us see the route which he followed. See students, he was from Portugal, that is Lisbon here, and he took the same route and he reached here at Calicut, that is in India. Western coast of India, here you can see the Calicut. Okay. Then the next important country was Spain. Now here also, like Portugal had Prince Henry, here also Spanish explorations began during the rule of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Now how did these people help them? They also helped them with whatever necessary things were required for explorations. In 1492, Christopher Columbus was provided with 3 ships by the rulers for explorations. So directly the ships were given to Christopher Columbus, that is, take these 3 ships and go on a expedition. On 12th October 1492, he landed at Bahamas, a place which he mistook for India. So see students, everybody wanted to come to India. Not only Portugal, people of Spain also wanted to come to India, people of France also wanted to come to India, people of Spain here, or maybe the people of England, they also wanted to come to India. Why? Why they were all after India? Because there was lot of wealth here. Columbus is credited not only with the discovery of Bahamas, but also with the discovery of America. Here in this slide, we can see Christopher Columbus here. Now, America. America, how did it get its name is a very interesting story. Though Christopher Columbus also went and discovered America, there were other regions of America, that is the interior regions of the continent of America, were explored by Amerigo Vespucci. This is the ship by which he travelled, and this is Amerigo Vespucci. And from the name of Amerigo Vespucci, that is this Amerigo name, America got its name as America. The next explorer is Ferdinand Magellan. Now what did Ferdinand Magellan do? He proved that Earth is round by circumnavigating it. Now till then, people were thinking that Earth is flat, straight. But when Ferdinand Magellan went around and he proved that Earth is round by circumnavigating it. In 1520, Ferdinand went round South America, across the Pacific, visited Philippine Island, and he reached Spain. How did it go? Which route did he use? He used Cape of Good Hope. Now, the success of the Portuguese and the Spanish navigators and the immense wealth brought by them led to other European countries to undertake further explorations and set up their trading stations in Europe and Asia. So now, once Portugal and Spain started, other countries also thought that let us also go on an expedition. Let us set up our trading stations there in India, Asia, etc. Here in this slide, we can see Ferdinand Magellan here. Now, after Portugal and Spain, the next country is England. England started undertaking voyages towards the end of the 15th century under the rule of Henry VII. So, Henry VII was ruling England in the 15th century. And the explorer who started was John Cabot. Here we can see John Cabot here. He landed on the Cape Breton Island, and he also established English claim to the eastern coast of North America. In this slide, we can see John Cabot on the shore of Canada here. So this is John Cabot, the explorer from England. Then after England, France started its process of exploration in the 16th century. Now it's very easy to remember the King of France. It's very similar to the name of the country. King Francis I was the ruler. Now when they tried to set up their colony in Northern America, they came into conflict with England. Now what happened here was, America was already captured by England. They had set up their colonies there. In fact, England had set 13 colonies in America. And when France went there, and France also wanted to set up the colonies there, they started having clashes with each other. They started fighting with each other. And since this was the beginning of the conflicts between the European countries for the possessions of the colonies. So this was the first conflict between England and France to capture the colonies. Like this conflict took place even in India, because in India also Portuguese also came, England also came, France also had come, and here also they had clashes. Now we have seen in the first unit the major discoveries which were made. Let us just recall that before going to the consequences or to the effects of the geographical discoveries. The first important major discovery was in 1498 Vasco da Gama discovered new sea route to India. In 1492, Christopher Columbus had discovered America. America was named after Amerigo Vespucci after exploring the interior regions of the continent. Ferdinand Magellan proved that Earth is round by circumnavigating it. John Cabot landed on the Cape Breton island. He also established the English claim to the eastern coast of North America. So these were the major discoveries which were made by the different explorers. Now let us go see one more story, because a history period cannot be without a story. Let us see one story here. There was a sailor. As in the first topic, we had seen a story of a farmer. Here we are going to see a story of a sailor called Samuel, and he was fond of making voyages. He was very much interested in the voyages. So he took patronage from the king, and after getting that money, he bought ships and went on a voyage and discovered a new sea route. Now once he discovered the new sea route, the other sailors also started following him. Now they set new commercial centers at London and Amsterdam. See, previously Genoa and Venice were the important centers, but now new centers became very popular. In the newly discovered areas in the east, their kings started establishing their power. So once Samuel and his team went, the kings also went there and they started establishing their power there. They considered themselves as superior to the eastern people. So when the people of the west came to the east, they were thinking that they are superiors. These people don't know anything. We are the superiors. We are going to teach them all the things. They started trading there and also replaced the culture in the east. They started exploiting the natives. So when all these people came, the traders came, the sailors came, the king came, all these people started exploiting the native people there. And the sailor established also the Columbian system to bring world closer. Thus what happened? Because of all this, the king, the sailor and all their companions, they became very rich. Now this story is made to learn all the consequences of the geographical discoveries. Effects of geographical discoveries. Now effects means what? The consequences. See, supposing if you are walking and you slip on a banana peel, what happens? You fall down. So banana peel becomes the cause of your falling, and when you fall down, supposing if you have a fracture and all, that becomes a consequence. So I think you all have understood what is consequence now. The other word is effects. So once the major discoveries were made, what were the effects? The first effect was the discovery of Atlantic Ocean and new commercial cities rose up. The next is rise of colonialism and imperialism. Next is establishment of the Columbian system. Next, absolute monarchies emerged. Next, maritime activities and trade was encouraged, and superiority of West over the East. Students, I feel that to make this very easy for you all just remember the word dreams. D stands for discovery of Atlantic Ocean and new commercial cities. R, rise of colonialism and imperialism. E, establishment of Columbian system. A, absolute monarchies emerged. M, maritime activities and trade was encouraged. And S, superiority of West over the East. So they had a dream of conquering the new world and they had already conquered it. So they had fulfilled their dreams. Let us see the consequences of this now. The first one, the discovery of Atlantic Ocean and the new cities. The discovery of Atlantic Ocean as a result of geographical exploration provided a new sea route to the east, and soon it became a chief highway of commerce. See, previously Mediterranean and Baltic seas were used. Now what happened? After the discovery of Atlantic Ocean, these commercial highways, Baltic Sea and Mediterranean Sea, they lost their importance. So as time passes away, certain cities may lose their importance. For example, previously the Legislative Assembly of Goa was in Panjim. Now it has shifted to Parvari. So slowly Parvari is becoming very popular today. In the similar way, here also the Baltic Sea and Mediterranean Sea lost their importance. And similarly, the cities like Genoa and Venice also. And now this in turn led to the rise of number of new commercial centers like London, Lisbon and Amsterdam. So these new cities started becoming very popular. Why? Due to the discovery of Atlantic Ocean. Second, R. We are going to the word R, letter R. Rise of colonialism and imperialism. Now what is colonialism? When a new ruler goes somewhere else and makes a colony, it is colonialism. Just one colony is captured. For example, when Portuguese came to Goa and Goa had become their colony, that is colonialism. But one colony after other colony, when they go on capturing and they acquire a whole empire, that is imperialism. Imperialism is making empires, having vast territory with them. So after the discovery of new territories, a large number of Europeans immigrated to the new territories and established their colonies. Now what happened? They did not just stop with discovering it. They immigrated, means all the way from Portugal, from Spain, from England, they went to the newly discovered areas, that is immigrated to the new territories. Now what did they do there? They established their political control over the new territories and began ruling over them. Students, in standard 8th, you all had studied about the lesson from trade to territory, that how the people of England came here just as a East India Company, just one company, as today we have any company here. And slowly they started ruling over us. Similarly, here also they established their political control over the new areas. Thus, colonies were established by which countries now? By Portuguese, by Dutch, by French, the English. Where did they establish it? They established it in Asia, Africa and America. So Asia includes our country also, that is they made colony in India also. For example, Portuguese had their colony in Goa, rest of India was under British, Pondicherry was under French. These are the examples. The next is E. We are seeing the word dream. Remember students, we have seen D, we have seen R, we are going to E now. Establishment of Columbian system of exchange. How did Columbian system get its name? It was a system named after Columbus. So from Columbus, Columbian got its name. Now what was this system? According to this system, the plants, animals and ideas of Europe and the New World were exchanged with one another. So they brought the ideas from Europe to the newly discovered areas. And what did they bring? The Europeans brought cattle, horses, ships to the New World, and the newly discovered world, what did they take back? They took from the New World, the Europeans received tobacco, silk, spices and precious stones. So they took from here the silk, the precious stones and spices. Then DRE, we are going to the word A, letter A. Absolute monarchies emerged. The geographical exploration led to the emergence of absolute monarchies in Europe. What are absolute monarchies? Means the king is ruling, king is whole and soul of the kingdom, and the rules of the king must be followed. The middle classes, which had become important due to expansion of commerce, needed the support of the rulers for their protection, and so they provided finances to the rulers to fight against the feudal nobles. See here, this is very interesting. The middle classes, why they started becoming important? Why? Because expansion of commerce was going on, and for the expansion of their trade, they needed the support of the rulers. Why? To fight against the feudal nobles. And why the kings were helping them? This helped the monarchs in most parts of the Europe to establish their political supremacy. So they started establishing their power wherever they went. They just did not go as traders. They established their power there. Why? They could trade duty free. If they are trading under some other rulers, they had to trade the trading concessions either. They had to take the permission, they had to pay the revenue, they had to give gifts to that king. So to avoid that, they started establishing political control. These imperialistic countries began exploiting the natives now. What they were doing now? They started exploiting the natives. Often the colonial powers imposed restrictions on the colonies. What restrictions? Not to trade with other foreign countries. Supposing if Portugal is ruling over a colony, they would have a control saying that you have to trade only with Portugal. You can't trade with England. You can't trade with France. Why? By this they tried to exploit their economies to promote the interest of the mother country. Now your mother country means the country which is ruling that colony, that is mother country. These colonies were asked not to manufacture goods which were produced by the mother country so that there would be no competition. See how they are making profit now. First thing, you cannot trade with other countries. Even if you are getting from the other countries at a cheaper rate, you can't buy. Second thing, you should stop manufacturing all your things. Why? You should buy the things from us. This is the way they were looting India. The geographical discoveries encouraged maritime activities. This is M, letter M we are seeing in the word dream. Maritime activities and trade between Europe and the East. Now what are maritime activities? One by one, let us see. The Europeans began to import spices, Indian textile, Persian carpets from the East in large quantities. They were taking all these things from here, spices, they were selling it there and making huge profits by taking it at a very lower price from us. Next, Indian textiles, cotton textiles were taken from here. Persian carpets were taken. Similarly, from America, what were they taking? They began to ship huge quantity of fish, fur and timber from America. So, lot of timber was taken from America. Lot of fur was taken from America. Then, they lowered the taxes on their own industries. So, very little taxes for their own industries. Why? To make huge profits. And secondly, very high taxes on the colonies, increase the taxes on the colonies. So if the colonies are doing any business, high amount of tax. Then the imperialistic countries also passed navigational acts to develop the shipping industry, and every effort was made to extract maximum trade concessions from the colonies. What is maximum trade concessions? Taking all types of facilities for the trading, that is maximum trade concessions. That is what they were doing. Why? The only aim was to make profit, earn lot of wealth. The colonial trade was exploitive, which led to the political, cultural and economic exploitation of the colonies. So politically they were exploiting us, they started ruling over us. Cultural, their culture, all the Western culture was brought to the newly discovered areas. So the native culture was being abolished, and economically also we were being exploited. Why? No profit for us, all the profit was for them. So this is the way how they were exploiting us. Then they also began to export a number of European manufactured goods to Asia, Africa and America, where the European powers had set up their colonies. So what they were doing? Manufacturing goods by taking raw materials from us, manufacturing it and selling it at high prices to the colonies here in Asia, Africa and America. So this was the other way that selling, so ready market they got, ready natural resources they got, ready market also they searched to sell their products. So this enormous growth in commercial activities led to the creation of credit institutions, then led to creations of commercial banks and other instruments also. So now this led to the banking system came. So all these new activities started. Then the last point is the geographical discoveries had established superiority. This word is very important here, superiority. See, we are looking the word dreams. So D-R-E-A-M we have seen, and we are going to S now. Superiority of West over the East. So when they came here, they were thinking that they are superiors. And we people from the colonies also started thinking that they are superiors. What did they do? The Western powers considered themselves to be superior to the natives of Asia and Africa. So they were thinking that whatever they are doing is correct, and whatever culture, whatever way of life is there in the colonies is wrong. They took upon themselves the responsibility of civilizing the uncivilized population of the world, which they were calling as white man's burden. So here they were thinking that they are whites, and the people of Asia, people of Africa, people of America, all are black people. So they were considering it as white man's burden to civilize the uncivilized population. Students, keep in mind, they may consider us as uncivilized, but we were not uncivilized. In the 2020, you all have understood now the importance of yoga, which we had, which was our culture. Then importance of washing our hands. During the corona period, all of you all have understood the importance of washing the hands, which was our culture earlier also. So all our culture which was there was a correct culture, but they used to think that it was wrong, and they were trying to impose their culture on us. They brought their dressing way, their food habits, all this they brought it from there to here. In this process, a number of native cultures were abolished and replaced with the Western cultures. See, this is what we are doing today. We are after Western cultures, we are after Western dresses, Western way of life, Western food, Western dance, all these things people like, but keep in mind the way we had was the correct way of living. So here we have to be proud to be Indians also. So thus the geographical discoveries initiated a new beginning in the world history. It brought the world closer with the interaction among the people from different countries, which led to the emergence of modern world. So what happened here? The world became closer. The world which people used to think America is very far away, India is very far away. They were unknown to the other world. But now after these discoveries, what happened? The world became very closer. So here in this unit we have seen about the consequences of the geographical discoveries, and we have also seen the major discoveries which were made. Students, keep in mind, as rightly APJ Abdul Kalam says, dreams are not that which you see in the slip, but dreams are those which do not allow you to sleep. Here in the previous lesson, that is the first part of the lesson, we had seen that the farmer dreamt, and he put that dream into reality by conquering the world and by taking lot of wealth from the newly discovered areas. So we are supposed to take a lesson from this lesson that we have to dream for high, and we have to also work very hard to achieve our goals. Thank you, students.